long time no see. I know. I have a background story as to where I've been and why I've been gone so long, but we're not going to do that today. So I want to come on here because I want to be kind of quick. I know everybody doesn't have time to listen to a 45-minute video. And today is really important to me because, I thought we were moving out of COVID. I thought we were moving on with our lives and, the numbers were going to decrease, but it looks like we keep having variant after variant. So I felt like it would be good for me to get on here and do a video about COVID treatment at home. So that's where I'm going to begin. This is going to be a few parts. I'm going to do one on how to treat yourself at home. I'm going to do one on how to treat yourself post-COVID, like after you've already recovered from COVID. And I'm also going to do one about preventative treatment that I've been doing for my daughter, in which, if God said the same, I pray so it stays away. But she has been COVID-free all 2 years of this whole COVID experience that we've been having because of that treatment and because of my prayers. So yeah, let's dig in. So many of you might know, some of you don't know. And if you're new to my channel, hey y'all, I don't have the best memory in the world. So I will be pulling out my handy dandy notebook. So this is the one that I'm using right now. I do still have my sparkly glitter one, but in the mess of life, I have lost it. So we're moving on. And once I get the sparkly glitter one back, we'll be back at her. But yeah, so I did write down things because I felt like it was vital for me not to miss anything. So I'm going to be going based off of here and just giving you my little side notes about it. So first thing is first, you really want to, and this goes for any kind of virus, any kind of cold, flu, whatever it may be, you want the virus to move and the cold to move out of your body as quickly as possible. It's not speeding it up, but it's making sure that it's not lingering. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but I feel like a lot of people that have been hospitalized, a lot of people that have had extremely negative results from COVID did take a while either seeking treatment or, in denial about what was going on with them, or probably didn't know how to properly treat themselves, which that's totally fine. But I'm just letting you know, you want to try to move things like that out of your system as quickly as possible because they sit and they become other things. Sometimes they sit and they become infection, like, any kind of bacterial infection. Next thing you know, you're on antibiotics and whatnot. I know with COVID, my husband and I, we had sinus issues that could have easily turned into a sinus infection. So you want to make sure to get this out of your system as quickly as possible, which it does take about, I say, 7 to 14 days. That's how long it took my husband and I to treat ourselves. I know the CDC is saying 5 days now, and that's fine. But it does take a bit. And if you stay consistent with it, even after your 5 days of going back to work, you should feel yourself getting better. Now, just to back up a little bit, I do want to let you guys know, my husband and I had the first COVID-19 in December of 2020. It was awful. It felt horrible for us. Things that people are describing that they're dealing with right now with this Omicron virus and even the Delta virus are a little different. I'm not going to say that they're weaker, but I'm just going to say that their symptoms weren't as severe as ours, and we made it. And I actually helped, at that point, I think 5 different people through it. At this point, I've helped over 20 people through it. Nobody has been hospitalized. Nobody has died. And everybody is having a really good result in moving forward with their life. So, nobody has lost their taste and smell for long periods of time. They all got those things back, just etc. They're doing fantastic. So let me help you. So the first thing that I wrote down is steaming. Now, first of all, you want to make sure that you're fever free. Normal temperature is 98.6. Now, know your baseline. Me, I'm a lower temperature type person. So my baseline is like 97.1, 97.3. I knew I had a fever because my temperature when I had COVID was 99. Now, that's not technically fever. That's a low grade fever in the nurse world, the health world, but that was fever for me. And then it went all the way up to 101. So I knew that something was not right. You want to make sure that you are fever free when you start the steaming method. Now, steaming can be done with simple water in a pot over the stove. I would highly suggest that you use distilled water or purified water, even spring water, things of that sort, because there's so many chemicals in our water. But if you cannot, that's totally fine. You can either do that right over the pot. You don't want to be too close to it, but just enough for the steam to kind of hit you and loosen those secretions and mucus and things like that up. If you don't want to choose that route, you can go into the bathroom. You can bring a chair, or you can sit on the toilet or the side of the tub or on the sink, wherever you want to sit, and turn the shower on to scalding hot and sit there and let the steam hit you and work through your body. Now, you'll do that probably for about 10 or 15 minutes. And actually, I used this process and this method with my daughter when she was a baby. She used to always have congestion when she went to daycare. And so I would take her in the bathroom. We would do the steaming method. And we did this about 3 to 4 times a day. And I would just pat her up and down her back to loosen everything up. Now, that's because she's a baby. And, you can't tell her cough and she's going to cough. That's not going to happen. But as an adult, if you're feeling that mucus come up, go ahead, deep breaths, and cough those secretions up and spit them out. Don't swallow them. Spit them back out. Like I said, you can do this 3 to 4 times a day. I would say watch the temperature in your house, because at this point, when you walk out of the bathroom, your pores are going to be open, and, it might make things worse for you. So watch the temperature in your house. I think we had the temperature set at 70, which is good for us because my husband is a polar bear. He likes the temperature around 67, 68. So we had it about 70, 71, and we were doing this method, and it was working fantastically. In our master bathroom, we have a bathtub and the shower is next to it. So when I was getting in the tub, taking my baths, I would run the shower water and just let it go while I'm in the tub. And when I would get out, I would feel fantastic. I would feel amazing, and I could actually breathe. So that was that. At night, of course, we were using Vicks rub. So we were using Vicks rub under our nose, on our necks, on our chest, on our back, and on our feet, and putting socks on. That just helps you to sweat those things out and opens you up. Now, I will say this: do not go outside after you've done any of this. You will increase your chances of getting even sicker. So just know this is an inside thing. Make sure that you don't have much going on that day. Hell, you got COVID, so you don't have much going on. I hope not. So just make sure you're doing those steps. The next thing I wanted to say, and I kind of did already say it, but I just want to reiterate it, that method, it loosens up those secretions. So I know when COVID first came out, they talked a lot about how the mucus and secretions and things of that sort were so hardened and stiff that it was leading people to have to be placed on ventilators and things of that sort because their airway was not clear. So those things will help loosen you up. And like I said, you want to make sure to spit those secretions out. Do not swallow them. So next, drinking warm water. Warm water, warm tea, warm fluid, whatever it may be. You want to try to drink it hourly if you can. Again, this is going to help loosen up those secretions and get that mucus to move in. Once again, if you're noticing that those secretions are coming up, and there's a lot of it, just go ahead and spit it out. Don't swallow any of this at all. Also, along with the warm fluids, you can also do chicken broths, you can do soups, and all of those things. Those things will really help as well. Next, I want to move on to medications that we were taking. So daily, we took vitamin C, and this is for adults. We took vitamin C 100 milligrams a day. We took zinc 50 milligrams, elderberry 50 milligrams, vitamin D3. Now that, I feel like it's up to you. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I think our dose was 2,000 IUs, but I've been to the doctor. I got my vitamin D level checked. She actually placed me on something much higher than that because of my specific vitamin D levels. But you can just start off with that little generic from the store vitamin D3. That should be good. And then also look at it, do some research for yourself. Look it up and see what the normal levels may be. But we just started on what we found. And right now, a lot of these things, well, not right now, but then a lot of those things were really hard to find because everybody was sick. A multivitamin that we take every day. And we also were taking Tylenol for pain and for fevers. So when COVID-19 first happened, we saw articles and things of that sort that said ibuprofen actually did not work too well with COVID. So we steered away from ibuprofen and did Tylenol specifically. I'm hearing that people are actually doing ibuprofen now, so maybe it's not as bad as it was in the beginning, but Yeah, we just stayed away from it. And then also the Tylenol would help with fevers as well. So we did Tylenol extra strength for our fevers. I will tell you, you should not have anything greater than 4,000 milligrams of Tylenol per day. And that a lot of medications that are like for sinuses, or I'm going to talk about NyQuil in a minute, that has Tylenol in it as well. So get you a little scrap piece of paper, write down how much Tylenol you're ingesting with the NyQuil and things of that sort, along with how much Tylenol you're ingesting when you take Tylenol by itself. Extra things that Alex and I did to help us, we had antihistamine. We actually took Zyrtec. Another antihistamine is Benadryl and Claritin. So it's really up to you. Claritin does nothing for us. It's like drinking water. But like I said, everybody is different. Benadryl, that makes you sleepy. So we were already sleeping 16 to 18 hours a day. So it was just kind of like, take more, take Benadryl, sleep more. I don't know. So we just steered away from that. But that really did help us. Once again, that's drying up those secretions, helping you to be able to breathe. We had Mucinex. Mucinex also dries up those secretions, helps you with chest congestion and things of that sort, helps you to be able to breathe a little bit better. I will tell you this. You want to make sure that your water intake is increased. Definitely want that to be increased, like drink plenty of fluids, because Mucinex is so drying, and antihistamines can be very drying as well. And once again, we don't want those extra secretions that you're creating through this virus and sickness to harden up too much to the point that now you have pneumonia, or like I said, you're going into the hospital and you're getting ventilated because your airway is not free and open. The next thing that we were using was NyQuil. Alex and I could not sleep when we had it. I'm gonna go into a little bit more detail about some other symptoms that we had that were kind of like unlike anybody else's symptoms, but we could not sleep. So this really did help us to sleep. It also helps with the fever and chills, because we did experience chills. Also, just like I was saying earlier, you do need to be careful with this because it does have Tylenol in it as well. So just make sure that you're calculating the amount of Tylenol that you're taking from the NyQuil along with the Tylenol that you're taking by itself if you're taking Tylenol. The next thing that I wrote was Alka-Seltzer Severe Sinus and Allergy. We took this because, like I said earlier in the video, we were having sinus issues. And this actually did really help. It helped to drain our sinuses. We could feel it relief in our ears, in the top of our forehead, in our nose, and then just kind of like around our eyes, all those sinus areas. So that really helped us with that as well. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that this has Tylenol in it as well. So if you take the NyQuil, the severe sinus and allergy, and the Tylenol, like I said, get you a scrap piece of paper. Make sure you're writing down how much Tylenol you're intaking from all of this. Another thing we had decided to add in was aspirin, 81 milligrams. And that's because people were having really bad issues with blood clots. I actually ended up working on a COVID unit right after I had COVID. So I worked on the unit in January, and I had 5 patients that were admitted during that period of time. It was an 8-week assignment. I had 5 patients that were admitted with blood clots, and they all had COVID recently, like 2 to 3 weeks before experiencing issues with blood clots. So we just took a baby aspirin that basically helps to keep those platelets, from grouping together and creating clots. So it keeps your blood nice and thin. Like I said, it just really helped us out. We didn't have any issues with blood clots. So I feel like it was beneficial for us. I told other people about it as well. Some people chose to use it and some people didn't. It's just, you don't have to do all of these things. I'm just telling you that it worked for us. I am a nurse. I didn't say that in the beginning. So some of this I do know from just nursing on my patients. I've been a nurse for 9 years now. So some of these things are things that I learned through that. And then some of these things are things that I learned just from my own mom. My mom nursing on me as I was growing up and, having issues with sicknesses and viruses and the flu and stuff like that. So that really helped me. And for all of my people, I wrote this specifically for you guys because you are a special group of people. For all of my people that don't like taking medicine, I understand. I get it. I wrote this. I said, I know you don't, but you also won't like going to the hospital and you would not like dying unnecessarily. So treat yourself with these medications for at least a week so that you can work that virus out of your system. And I honestly think the longer it sits in your body, the worse you get. And I said that at the beginning. So you may not like taking medicine, and that's totally understandable. But this is a little different. You have a virus that you're dealing with. You have something that's very foreign to your body. take the medicine, like I said, for at least a week. And if you don't want to do it anymore after that, so be it. But at least you're getting better. You're staying out of the hospital. You're not dying unnecessarily, like I was saying before. And it's just really beneficial for you. So you just have to kind of swallow the bullet. Pick your poison. You want to not take medicine and get worse, or you want to take the medicine and get better? Outside of that, that's really all we did to help treat ourselves. Like I said, I've given this information to oodles of people, at least 20 people at this point. Multiple amounts of those people were couples. So gave that to them and they did fantastically. So I want you guys to check out part 2. And then that one is going to be like a few complaints outside of the norm and what you can do to help with them. My part 3, I know I said in the beginning a little wrong, but my part 3 is going to be like post-care after COVID. And then my part 4 is going to be for my kiddos. So if you guys have any kind of questions, concerns, anything of that sort, please comment underneath here. I do ask you to please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. I do want to really help people, and I know people are still getting COVID, and some of them do not know what to do at home, and they're so fearful. It is a fearful virus. Alex and I said multiple times when we were getting through it, we thought we were going to die. So it is fearful. So I mean, hey, I want to be able to help those people through. So if you can please do that for me, that would be great. And like I said, come back for those other parts because I feel like they're beneficial. They have helped us. We are getting through. So yeah. All right. I hope y'all have a fantastic day and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.